Hey guys, this is Coder Jeet, your best friend in programming, and today I'm going to show you how to auto reload an Electron app when the code is modified. Well, you know how irritating it is when you have to recompile and relaunch the app after modifying every single line. Well, it is something that you don't need to do if you set up your app to auto reload, and that is possible using a couple of tools, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. So keep watching. I'm going to grab my Electron boilerplate from GitHub and just clone the repo, and now it's done already. I've got the folder Electron JS boilerplate here, which has got my boilerplate. Gonna go into that folder, and in there we've got app folder where the app is located. So you can see main.js over here, which has got the application. Next, I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code here. So you've got Visual Studio Code, and you can see my Electron app is already set. I'm gonna open the Visual Studio terminal. To do that, click on New Terminal and then npm install. npm install will install all the packages that are required for our project. Let's have a quick look at our project structure. If you go to package.json, you will find the basics of this app, things like the app name, description, and so on. And you will also find the scripts that you can run on the terminal. To run this app and to see the app in action, you have to run the script called start, which actually just runs Electron. So what we can do is npm run start. And our app is loaded. You can see over here, this is just a very simple app, just a hello world app, nothing but the text over here. And if you see the project, all of the files are in the main folder. There is a main.html file where this is coming from, and there's also some kind of JavaScript code, the preload file, the screen, actually the preload file, the file where we have the form class and the view file all over here. Now the pain point is, if I modify anything over here, things just don't load automatically. For example, if I modify the page over here, I add a little line, something like "we love coding in Electron," I save it, but to see this in action, to see the change that I made, I have to close the project and then run npm run start again. Right, it loads up with my changes, but that is a time-consuming process because you'll be changing things a lot. You'll have to keep coming back and loading stuff again and again, and that could waste a lot of your time. Well, there is a way to overcome that because of a package called Nodemon. Now, Nodemon is a node.js package. It's called Node Monitor. And what this package does is it will automatically load up your file again if there is a change in the code that you've written. So to install Nodemon, we need to run npm install, and then we need the option G because we want to install Nodemon globally. It will be available to every single project that you create, and it will not be shipped to your customer because it is not a public facing package. It's only for internal use. So npm install G Nodemon. It'll take a minute to install. And once it's installed, you will see in your dev dependencies another entry, Nodemon. Depending on the version that's the latest, you will see the version number here too. Now you need to set it up a little bit to make it work, because by default Nodemon will only monitor changes in HTML files. You want to be monitoring all the changes to the JavaScript files too. To do that, what you got to do is you got to create a file called nodemon.json. This is the configuration file for Nodemon, and it will look for the configuration file in the root folder, and the configuration has a couple of options. It's a standard JSON file, so we're just going to put that. The first option is ignore, and this is where you can pass an array of all the folders you want to ignore. So let's say you've got an assets folder where you maintain all of the files that are going to go to display the project, something like a CSS file, your images, and you don't want to reload your main screen if anything changes in the assets folder. You can just put that in. So you can put in assets and /. So Nodemon will ignore this folder and will not restart your app if anything changes over here. The second option is ext. This is where you tell Nodemon what extensions you want to monitor. So typically I like to monitor JS, JSON and HTML. Now if you're using TypeScript, you might want to use TypeScript 2, TS2, but that's depending on what you're using. And if you want to monitor any other extension, just keep adding any file extension that you want. To run the app, you will need to execute it a little bit differently. Earlier we were using npm run start, which would run the command electron dot to run the current application. But to run it with Nodemon, we're gonna write nodemon exec electron dot. And this will now run the app with Nodemon, and now Nodemon is actually monitoring the changes. If I change anything over here, for example, let's put in another paragraph. This file is being monitored by Nodemon. And you can see the changes are not here because I haven't saved yet. And as soon as I save, my project will re-execute. And if I look at it, I've got the change over here. So Nodemon is going to restart your project every time you make a change to any of the files. Pretty handy, yes? Now let's make things even simpler by making this a part of our project itself so that we don't have to write this entire command every single time. So we're going to go back to package.json and we've got the start script over here. Let's create a new script called watch, and we just paste the command over here, nodemon exec electron, and now we can just do npm run watch and our project will run being monitored with Nodemon. So this is how easy it is to implement Nodemon on your project to have auto reload function. By the way, this is Nodemon's page on npsjs.com and it's got 3 million weekly downloads, so you know it's very popular. It's very robust, quite a trustworthy package, and you can use it in your projects without a single worry. I hope you liked this video and you will use auto reload in all your Electron applications from here on to save time. Give me a thumbs up, like this video and subscribe to my channel to get more learning videos from me. This is your best friend in programming, Code Ajit, signing off.